Okay, so here we are in part 2 now of the array command, and we're going to look at a rectangular array. And what we're going to do, we're going to place a group of tables and chairs for a conference. So we've got the one table and 8 chairs, but we need at least possibly 5, 6, 7 copies of that in a regular rectangular fashion. So that's where the rectangular array comes into its own. So we go to the array command again, so we go to the modify panel on the home tab, and there's the array command. Now remember, we need to use a rectangular array, so you'll notice it remembers the last array that we did, the polar array, but we need to change that. We need a rectangular array, like so, and then we need to select the objects that we're going to place in the array. So we need all of our chairs and our table. So I would do a crossing selection, so left click here, drag the crossing selection, and left click again. That selects everything, including that node in the center. Now I don't need that node in the center at all. What I'm going to do is hold down the shift key, click on it, and that deselects it. It's purely for reference. So I right click to confirm the objects, and you should have 9 objects, 8 chairs and a table. So now we need to specify the number of rows that we want. Notice the preview screen. If I go in there and type in that I want 6 rows, and then press the tab key on the keyboard, you'll notice the number of rows changes on the preview screen. And I want 8 columns. If I press the tab key again now, you'll notice it updates again. Look, you can see it's going off there to the right and upwards. That's because rows and columns have to be positive. You put your row offset and column offset as negative if you want to change direction. You can't have a negative number of rows or a negative number of columns, for example. Now, the row offset and the column offset in this case are going to be the same. It's going to be 4.5 meters, but because the drawing is in metric millimeters, the row offset will be 4,500 millimeters. Press the tab key again, or I can just click in the box like so and put in 4,500 again there. When I tab now, you'll notice the preview doesn't change because it's indicative. These little buttons here allow me to pick offsets graphically on the drawing if I want to, if I've got object snaps or reference points that I'm using. I'm actually typing in a known distance because I know that distance there will provide a decent distance between each table at the conference. Now if I change the angle of the array to say 45 and press tab, you'll notice on the preview, look, there's my 6 rows, there's my 8 columns going from the 0 line here at an angle of 45 degrees. I don't want 45 degrees, so I put that back to 0 and press tab, and you'll see the preview updates there on the screen. Now, the good thing about AutoCAD 2010 is when I click on preview here now, I can't actually see my rows and columns, but I can zoom out in the preview, and there they are. You can see them all there. Look, there's all my chairs and tables, and I can zoom out there. So I can see that that has actually kicked in. Now, what I want to do there is just right-click to accept that array, because I can see the array has worked. And then what I'm going to do is do a zoom extent. So I'll go to my view, like so, navigate panel here, click on extent, and there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. And there's my original table there with the node in the center. That's why I left that node there, just purely for reference so that you can see that that's the original, and we've gone to the right and upwards with our rectangular array.